didn't expect to be called. But I was just a spectator tonight. I don't even know which story I'm telling. Very short one? Well, okay, fine. All right. About 15... If I have a smile, like a big smile, you might notice something very slightly funny about my smile. In fact, once I was at a station, and just a man walked up to me and he said, I'm a dentist, and I see you've had some very, very good work done. And because this tooth here is an implant. And so 15 years ago, I went to a bar isn't it? That dates me. And I've been drinking quite a lot recently, and I thought, I really don't want to drink a lot tonight. So I'm going to lay off beer or wine or anything harder than that. But I don't want to drink orange juice, or... I was looking up and I saw Jägermeister. That's a herbal thing, right? I'll have that. So I drank about half a bottle of that, and it was raining very heavily, and I cycled home. I don't remember cycling home, but the next morning I woke up and I felt very strange, and I was wearing all my clothes, and suddenly I had this great pain in my mouth, and I looked in the mirror, and where was previously been one of my front teeth, there was just this jagged little stump with a bit of nerve hanging out, and my face had pieces of road on it, and clearly something had happened on the way home that I couldn't remember. So I tried to retrace my steps, and amazingly I found my glasses in front on the roadside in Kolobata, all blood all over them, and I'd obviously had quite a spill. It was quite a big deal with the insurance company, trying to get some coverage to try and get the tooth repaired or an implant repaired. And I remember at the time, it was quite funny, my girlfriend at the time, Keiko, she said, so I had this dreadful jagged stump, and I had this for several weeks while I was wrangling with the insurance company about how much I should pay and they should pay. But my girlfriend at the time, Keiko, said, I like it. Because you look horrible. Nobody else will want you. I feel safe. As it happened, I had another friend, just a friend. Her name was Keiko too. So let's call her Keiko 2, not Keiko 1. She had another interest. She also said she liked it, the appearance. She said, in Japan, we don't like things to be too perfect. That's boring. If it's perfect, it's just boring. So if we have like a perfect, like a tea, like a chawan for a tea ceremony, if it has just a little bit of glaze running down the side or a dimple, we look at that imperfect bit and we say, ooh, if only that fault wasn't there. Ooh. But actually we like that, ooh, because then we can say ooh. So, previously, you were perfect, and now you're ooh. So I told Keiko 1 about Keiko 2's comments, and funnily, she wasn't very interested in Keiko 2's comments. She said, I don't think you're ooh, I just think you're ooh. But as I said before, I like it. So anyway, I had a repair job done. It was very, very good. And I think the important thing is to learn from your mistakes. So 2 years later, I was cycling home drunk in the rain. And I came off the bicycle again. And this time I really came off. It was summer, I had shorts and sandals, and I went skidding down a hill. And I took the nails off several toes, and I knocked out my implant. So it seems that every time I fall off a bicycle, I fall exactly like this, and I fall directly on this point. And I skidded along a wall with my mouth open. It was like a cartoon, like this. And the next morning, my lips all had ballooned up. So I called my incredible dentist who'd given me my first implant, but my lips had ballooned up and I could hardly speak. So I phoned up and I said, and there was this huge laughter. Ha 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 ha. Medlock said, Joe, nice to last night. 거의 엄수로이 됐네. 내내 오구나. 이 말씀 너무 많이 하시나요? And I said, well, I'm coming. I thought, when I get there and they see the state of me, I want, you know, like one of those, like the chateau of some disgraced company and the full, you know, at the press conference, the full 90-degree bow. I'm going to get an apology because I'm suffering. I walked in the dentist. And there was this brief silence. Then, ha ha! And then they just burst into laughter. But amazingly, I still cannot understand how they somehow fixed my tooth without charging me 500,000 yen like they did for the first one. So it was really amazing. But I was a sea of cuts. I was just cut everywhere. And I'd gone to the hospital at midnight and they got out a toothbrush to clean all the dirt from my what was left, the toe beds. And I screamed the place down. I screamed so much. They decided to give me an anesthetic directly into the toes. They're injecting my toes. And I screamed at that too. And they covered me with bandages. And for a few days I was limping around covered in all these bandages. And I'd go to the shopping mall and children would see me and hide behind their mothers. And I'd see this children shrinking. And I go, what? And the mother would go, Nanny. Which was rather gratifying. It almost made the spill worthwhile. Anyway, I had some friends who were in a dojo, sword dojo, and they get a lot of cuts. And they had this kind of souped up tiger balm from Hong Kong. And they said, come down, we'll sort you out. So they went down, they covered me with this tiger balm. So as I walked down the street, people's eyes were watering. I sat in a train, I could empty a carriage virtually. But I was like a mummy. But this tiger balm really worked. And the hospital had said, you've got to come in and get your bandages changed every day. But I couldn't be bothered to go all the way up this Hiei Byoen. And I didn't go for 5 days. I just kept on with the tiger balm and the bandages by myself. And then after a week or so, I went in. And I went up to the counter and I put my shinzatsuken down. And I said, Medlock desu. And the girl looked at me and she said, Medlock-san? And I said, hi. She's like, start to say, she looked at her and she said, Medlock Timoshi-san? I said, hi. She said, start to say. And she picked up the phone and she was at a conference and she looked at me and she said, you were here a week ago? And I said, that's right. She said, really? I said, yes. I was thinking, was my doppelganger here 5 minutes ago? She put on her phone and she said, "Shoshimasu," and I sat in chairs. And then doctors and nurses gradually filtered into the waiting room. So there was eventually about 6, 7 or 8 people. And they stood in front of me and they had a conference about me. And the subject of the conference was I really the same person who'd come in a week ago? And how is this possible? Because my cuts had healed apparently abnormally fast. And they had this big conference right in front of me, and they were going, do you think it's the same person? I think it's the same person. How many foreigners have we had in the last week? He's the only one! He's the only one! What are the chances that we had 2 foreigners, both their names are Medlock? It can't be. It must be him. It must be him. It must be him. But I've been a doctor for 30 years. I've never seen anything like it. Have you? I haven't either. Nor me. Nor me. It can't be. It must be, but it can't be. And then there was a huge silence. And then eventually a nurse said, "Ma, kaikin takara ne?" So desu ne. And the mystery was solved.